Okay. So cool.
We'll give it a second here. All right. We're probably live now. Oh, I'm so excited. Oh my gosh. Okay, we are live.
Yay.
Okay, perfect. So, hello everyone. Well, I am so freaking excited to have Sophia with me here today. She is on fire, first off. I just want you to know, Sophia, like I truly admire you. Like
Oh,
you're such a blessing in my world, and I'm so grateful that we got connected. And so I want to spend some time celebrating you, honoring you, and really sharing about our experience working together. So I would love to first celebrate the fact that you earned like over basically $29,000 in a short period of time and signed 29 clients within
yes.
3 weeks. That is freaking fire. So I want you to come on, say hello to everyone, tell people what you do, and if you remember the first time we got connected, I would love to hear that story.
Yeah. So I'm a spiritual life coach and teacher. And I think I follow you since like, I don't know, 2017 or something like that on Facebook.
That's when I
I've seen you
started, so
around.
maybe.
I don't know. It was a long time ago. I think you had pink hair. It was another time, which I love, by the way. But last year you were doing one of these free challenges, and I was like, oh, I'll sign up or whatever. Or I don't know what it was that you posted, and I was like, I reached out to you, and then you told me about the challenge. And the challenge, I was so blown away because I had been in other, and I know everybody says this, and I've heard this in other testimonials, but this is actually true for me this time that I'd been in other courses, like paid way more money, really big investments, and just in the live challenge, like I could keep doing that forever and learning so many things in the 5 day, I think, free challenge. I don't know what it's called. Um, and then I was like, okay, this is like she's for real. She's super like I love your energy. I always say that. Like you have really good energy. And for me, because I work with energy, it's so important. So I was like, okay, this is somebody that I can trust and something that I always ask, but I've never told you this, but I always ask like, is my money safe with this person or like am I safe with this person? Not my money, but like when I make an investment. And I think I immediately feel that with you. And I know you're going to be my, one number one cheerleader and
Yeah.
supporter. And I saw that since that day. So when I found you, it was like, this seems like she knows what she's doing. She's also very fun. uh, and it's something that somebody that I would like to be in a space with for 6 months.
I love that. Okay, so I want to reverse engineer this a little bit for people who are watching this because this is a big part of the strategy. And I'm so glad that we were called to reconnect, right? I truly believe that people come into your space for a reason, a season, or a lifetime, and there is a connection on purpose. And so what you kind of said was like, we've probably been connected for a long time, maybe since
Yeah.
2017 when maybe my first group started and I started this business to begin with. And then obviously, life happened and maybe we got disconnected for a little bit, but then we revived, right? You probably downloaded a freebie or you commented on something or
Yeah.
somehow we reconnected in some way. And I invited you to, hey, I've got this free thing coming up. Can I coach you through it for free? And also, just total side note, like, thank you for your kind words about my challenge. Like, it is something that I really strive to help people get a ton of momentum and help support them in really simple ways to get paid in 7 hours. And so I really appreciate you saying all of that. But if you're listening to this to reverse engineer it, what I did to sign Sophia on, right, to for have her be a client was invite. Do the
Yeah.
invite to the next thing. Say, hey, do you want to do this with me? And I love what you said about the question of is my money safe with this? And am I safe with this? Am I excited about this opportunity? So that's awesome. And it's just a really good reminder. If you have people in your world who has not signed on yet, it doesn't mean they won't sign up because here we are and you freaking would you tell me you raised your prices, right? You
Yes.
built a brand new group program and
Yes.
freaking blew it out of the water. Like 3 weeks, 29 clients is freaking fire. So
Yeah.
I love that. Do you remember where you were before we started working together? Could you like kind of paint the picture of what was
Yeah.
going on?
So I've always had like, and you know this, like a lot of leads, and I do one-on-one readings. So a lot of people come for the one-on-one readings, but I was having trouble structuring a group program that felt like it was, I don't want to say worth my time, but kind of worth my time. So I was like, I don't know how to make this happen. And then there were a lot of things that I've had kind of thought about doing, but you gave me structure for that. And I feel like I didn't have structure before. And something you say a lot, I think it's in your modules or whatever, it's like once you learn this, you know how to turn it back on, like the system to get clients. It's like you have the knowledge forever.
Hmm.
And I know you're not asking about this, but as you were talking, I remembered when the first one-on-one call that we had, it was about messaging. And I was always like, oh, messaging, I've done a lot of courses. So I was like, let's see. And I remember you being able to write down the message so clearly. I think I like teared up or cried or something like, I was like, that's the first time. Like, it was really emotional for me because I was like, I think that was one of the biggest shifts I made of like my messaging and having a, yeah, clear messaging. I know I said that word a lot, but a way of calling in people, like the words, what I do. I wasn't really because when you work so much, you don't notice like the transformations. So you were like, okay, what's the transformation and how can we word it to be specifically what you do? And I think that for me was super, like that was the first thing that shifted. That's why I went back to that because maybe it's not so tangible. It's like I had zero lead and then 100, but for me, it meant before and after for sure.
And that's really important to talk about because even my clients who are making $20,000 a month and they want to get to 50,000 or $60,000 cash months, their positioning and messaging is one of the biggest shifts we have to make. And I love that you brought that to attention and um how you speak about what you do, the differentiating factor that makes you different in the online space, other than just being you, it has
Yeah.
to be solidified. And I really do believe that was a huge way to one, build your confidence, and then two, speak
Mm.
to your clients in a way that they felt that you were for them. All of a sudden, like their perceived problem was like, well, Sophia is clearly my answer. I mean, otherwise, 29 clients, that's a lot of people. I know some of them are re-signs, but like that's a lot of people to
Yeah.
continue to say yes to you and to say yes to you for the first time.
Yeah. And this program, even though some of them were resigns, I do have to say that this program that you helped me create was something different. It was a different format. For some of them, it was way more than they had paid before. So I was like, okay, this is a way bigger investment. I'm like, I don't know if they're gonna like want to do it, sign on for 6 months, it was longer. So all of those things I was a little hesitant about, but like having you in my corner, I also felt that okay, I can do it. And also you have so many strategies, which is like, I think that's important to note because I've been in other courses and it's like you do this. It's like you post on Instagram and then you do this and then that. And you're like, okay, no, didn't work that way. Okay, we'll go over here. We'll go. You have like a Mary Poppins like bag of strategies.
I love that example. Actually, that's awesome. And that's what's so true. And well, if I can instill anything for anyone, it's that all strategies work. We just have to work it. And we have to put time and energy. Like we know where our focus goes, energy will flow into, but we have to think about what do we feel when we focus on that thing? Do we feel excited and motivated and like it confident and empowered, or do we feel like, oh, this is probably not going to work, right? And that is that the
Yeah,
focus we're putting on? And I love that you had this breakthrough and we're like, okay, I'm going to put this positive energy and focus into something, and that you were willing to try something different, try something new, because you probably wouldn't have been able to service 29 clients one to one at that level at the same time. The fact that
yeah,
they, one, not only paid you more money than they have before, but two,
yeah,
that you could service them all in more of like a group, container in a different way. And you're so right. What I try to instill in you guys is the system and the strategies to help you make money in your business for the rest of your life. And
yeah.
that's what you have now, which I am entirely grateful.
Yeah, well, I'm so grateful. Somebody's gonna be grateful here. It's me. Because it's really like when I was saying it, I was like, wow. And I feel like I really got like a lot of value for what I paid, because sometimes people, and I see this with people that are just starting out, they're like, "Ooh, that's a big investment or whatever." But with me, that I have been investing a lot, and it's still a lot of money for me, but it feels like a no-brainer because of the value that you give. I even remember, like, I believe, and this is kind of my beliefs, but when you enter into a container, you get like an energy. You are in an energy. Those people who say like, "Oh, even when I signed up, I received a client or whatever." It
100%.
happened. It happened like with you, but because I also feel, and this is something also I haven't mentioned to you, but like when I see your work, I do think, I know you do some money rituals or whatever, but I think you're a lot more woo-woo than people think, like secretly or whatever, or like in a strategy way. Like, I don't know if you realize it, but you have like this big manifesting power or whatever you want to call it. And I think that that is contagious. And I've seen other people also in your container kind of really grow. So it's so nice that we're all like listening to you and growing together.
I appreciate that. How did you know that? I know you kind of mentioned it a little bit, but that six figures consistent cash flow, like specifically, before you knew all of the robustness of the program and working together with me, like, how did you know it was the perfect fit for you?
I think it was the challenge.
Mhm.
Because in the challenge, I was like the free live challenge. I don't know, I did VIP, but I remember seeing it and being like, if there's so much value here, and I'm learning so much here, this is somebody that I can learn way more from. And and it truly was that way because you're in the challenge and you're like, wow, I learned a lot. But then you go in and there's of course more support, but there's so much value in everything. I remember just when I went in, I really saw that I had made a big decision. But just by seeing you in the live challenge talking and explaining what you do, and also I think there's some testimonials. So all of that really, I was like, this is a person I want to work with. And I thought the value was good, like the bonuses and the challenge and stuff. Um, they were really good for everything I was getting.
This is good for people to think about, right? Do you have bonuses that expire? A reason for people to jump in now. Do you have the value laid out to where you're actually like positioning your offer in a way that it solves a problem? Do you have, I'm trying to think of all the things you said, the value that you're giving to get momentum for someone that it's the natural next step for them to join your program, which obviously we built out for you, Sophia, but these are good things for people to think about
Yeah,
of
yeah.
why someone buys, why someone purchases. And so obviously I'm grateful for you saying this about my program specifically, but it's
No, but
always good to know because once we know someone's buying process, we can replicate that for someone else. So,
yeah.
okay,
And
let's talk
sometimes,
about. Okay, sorry, go ahead.
oh, sorry. No, in the live challenges, I feel like I've done like before I did a webinar, for example, and then I went in and invested, and it was kind of like the same webinar on repeat, or you get a little bit of like, oh, I could have, it wasn't that much. And I really want people to know, like anybody who has done your challenge, if you step in, you get way more. Like there's deeper and deeper in there, you know?
And I'm always creating new things. Like I just
Yes.
created something in the past 24 hours that I am so excited about that I was like, it's something I just thought about 48 hours ago. And I was like, wait, this is probably one of my favorite trainings I've ever created. And I can't wait to give it to people. I created a whole 30-day Facebook, like step-by-step revival guide. Like if your Facebook is dead, your Facebook
Mm.
group is dead, like what you could do for 30 days. Like I love supporting my clients and supporting you guys. Like not only like your wins are my wins and I want everyone to be an achiever, and that's why I call myself an achievement strategist because I want you to achieve. Like I'm fully focused on what is Sophia's pathway of least resistance to making more money, which is very different than someone else's pathway and
Yes.
someone else's pathway. This is yours because you also have a family at home and you have a lifestyle that you want to live out there, in Miami and everything. And so I want to make sure that your strategy makes sense for you, your lifestyle, your energy, and everything as well. So,
Yeah.
okay, talking about the big numbers here, the 29 clients, the $29,000, almost $30,000 within 3 weeks, right? So that's a huge,
Yeah. And
huge
I also
win.
signed on like 5 private clients or coaching clients. And those clients, I don't think I would have taken them on if it wasn't for you because
Yeah.
yeah, some leads come in and whatever, but I really made an effort to really sell them. I used some of the strategies on your sales call, which are not salesy at all, but I just gotta put it out there.
Mhm.
Because they really felt comfortable for me, and in the past they haven't. But with you, I was like, oh, this sounds like it sounds good. And then there were clients that I was like, oh, can I help this person? Like I had we just finished today before this call actually one of my clients, he's a man, he's older, he's like 60. And I was like, oh, like this is not my usual client. He was like, I'm so happy that you chose to accept me as a client kind of thing. But also he meant a lot in the way that like I don't know if I would have taken him on if I hadn't had you behind me being like, you can do this, you can take on more clients. And also I think that's good because you respect the fact that I'm like, oh well, I have my son and but then you also are like, okay, but what are you going to do about it? You know? And I like that because I feel like a lot of us women, and I see it with my clients, they need that. We need that.
And I love that you actually brought that up because what that talks to is the pure ripple effect that we really have on people. Because I not planted dreams within you, but help you uncover a goal that you had within you all the time. But I was able to activate it for you, which then allowed you to be with your family, be with your son, connect with this client, these other clients too. Now they have ripple effects in their life and where they're going and what they do in this world. And so, it's 333, by the way. I'm watching
Of
this. So
course.
it's really, really cool. Of
Like
course
angel
it is.
numbers.
Of course
I'm
it
just
is.
kidding.
So like it happens to be that. But anyways, okay, with all of these numbers and all of these wins, which are so incredible, especially your confidence to raise your prices, can you give people some top golden nuggets that have worked really, really well for you that you feel like would work really well for other people?
Yeah. One of the things that I was thinking about is the like organizing offers because I do have a lot of offers and maybe it would be great like for somebody that's really new that doesn't have any offers and I've seen you help people that have never done this before people there's young people there's older people and you're like okay this is what we're going to do this is the first step like really helping them create their own magic so I think one of the things that I one golden nugget is like the organization of the offers that you do or like the view of the funnels. And you do that for everybody. And it's so nice to see when you're on the calls because you're like, oh, okay, she's helping her do this. And you're helping her um, just I've seen you do it all and I have them in my mind of like, oh, I saw she sent me a freebie like this other client of yours, and I can see how they're evolving as well because like the graphics keep evolving and the messaging and I'm like, that's Brooke right there. Like I know it's their genius, but I can see like your mastermind behind it all. So I think another thing that you do really well is listen without imposing your thoughts because I know you have a clear way of doing things. I think your way of doing things is very clear. But also, I've never felt not safe saying, you know what, I don't know about this, or this doesn't seem right to me. I don't feel like you're going to be like, no, we need to do it this way. I think you work with people, and I think that's also um, really good.
I appreciate
Um,
you saying
I
that.
don't know if those are golden nuggets, but they're
That's
things that
okay.
come to
What
mind
do
a
you
lot.
think? Like, I guess, like, we'll ask this too. Like, with
Yeah.
signing these 29 clients or so, what do you think really helped you make that happen? Like, what did you do that someone could implement themselves to do for themselves?
So I think it was a lot of confidence. I know that's not but the live activation challenge, the challenges that I don't know how you call them. Are they
Conversion
called that?
event. Yeah, I call it
Conversion
conversion.
events. I'm
Yeah.
like the live activation. But those learning how to do that challenge
Hmm.
even like what you say on day one, what you say on day two, what you say on day three. I think I listened to that module so many times because
You
I was like,
did. You
oh,
told me you
that
were
makes
like, Brooke,
so
I
much
watched this
sense.
like 5 times and
Yeah, I
you
would
said
walk
that.
and
And you were
like
like,
listen.
yeah, and you implemented. That's what I love about you, though, is that we can watch things all day long, but it's the implementation that happens between calls, between trainings that really makes the magic happen. And so this is really good to know, though, because you did a conversion event. And then
Yeah.
I'm sure people bought with even out without sales calls. And then you did the sales calls in a way that doesn't feel salesy, that very much feels like, hey, you've got a need and I've got a solution to your need, right?
Yeah, and there were actually people that signed up for the challenge, and I was like, I don't think would be a good fit, and I didn't offer anything.
Yeah.
And that also felt good because I know that this challenge like brought in more people, and I reconnected with a lot of people that I hadn't talked to in a while. So I think for me, the thing that I take away the most, besides all the transformation I went through in the course, is but like from the models or your strategy it's definitely the life challenge. I had a friend who sat on it. He was like, I had no idea you were so good at sales and like explaining what you do. And I was like, there's a method behind it. Like I learned the method. So I think that for me was very valuable. And there's so many strategies. Like anybody who goes in the course, it's like you could do it's like Instagram, Facebook groups, whatever you want, you can find it.
Absolutely. I think if we can just, that's what's so great. And I love that you said that actually, because there's over 8 billion people on social media, and using social media has completely changed my life. I love teaching others to change their life with social media. So, this has been awesome. Do you have any other really awesome wins or things that you want to note about working with me specifically that has really made it for you?
Yeah, I mean, I know I've said it a lot, but I think that you, because this is, I don't know, like I'm always like, how do you do it all, Brooke? Because I feel like she gives so much to people, like you give so much. I'm just talking to the
I
to the
know.
audience here,
That's
but I
okay.
really feel like you give so much to people, and that um, you truly want us to be what I never felt like just a number or like well, it's your responsibility to do it. Like if you don't do it, it's your no, you were always like, okay, what are you doing? But not from a place where I like, oh, I don't know. Like when I told you like, oh, I launched it and I'm really happy I launched this program, like used to watch testimonials. I would never think that like I could make like a 30K launch. That was like my dream. And it happened so fast because you were like, okay, you want to do this? We're, we're going to put this. Then you made me do VIP, for example. I've never done VIP for a program before. There were a lot of like I would say like the structure of things. You're really good at strategy, structure. If I had to create like a Facebook, like what you just said, a 30-day Facebook revival, I wouldn't go to anybody but you because I know you know it like from the inside out. So
I
no, I can say enough good things about you, and I really it's it's been the best investment I've ever made. I think not because like I made it back because, like you said, other strategies, maybe you could make it back. That's amazing. But I also like got so much value out of it.
Yeah. Yeah. And a $30,000 month is a pretty dang awesome win. That is amazing. And like you said, I usually show people a slide of it's so much more than the money though. It's so much more. And I love that you're speaking to that because of who you become. Now you have a skill set that you can make money on repeat. And that um I mean, if I think about it too much, that will make me really emotional. Like that's like what we're here to do. And I'm just so
Yeah.
proud of you. So anybody who's sitting on the fence, who's like, do I do this? Do I not? Like, what
Yeah,
would
no,
you
do
say
it,
to
do it, do it. I used to watch these testimonials. I think you sent me like three. So
them?
that's why I was like, Brooke, can I do? I actually asked Brooke to do this testimonial. She wasn't like, do. No, I was like, I need to do this because I always watch testimonials and I'm always like, whenever I enter a program, I'm like, I want to be the testimonial for the program. And it had never happened before. So it's not like I've tried other things, and I also like I implement maybe in like not so much and not everything, but I'm not like, oh, I bought the course and I'm never showing up again. No, I've shown up with other things. And for me, like just showing up a little bit with this, because I did show up a little bit, I guess, that already created. So it's like if you're thinking about it, why wouldn't you come in and like try your best? And I think that will be enough. Like whatever
Yeah,
you can give.
absolutely. Okay, tell people where they can find you, maybe some exciting things that you've got going on in your business right now, and if you've got anything that they might think is pretty cool and might be interested in.
Yeah. So right now I'm doing a lot of just one-on-one coaching and readings and healings, and I'm preparing for the next group program, but I think it's going to be in Spanish, so I don't know. But my website is theglowingspace.com, and I have some freebies there and a lot of fun stuff like energy stuff. So
I
yeah,
love
they
that.
can find me there. And also, if anybody wants to contact me just to ask about working with Brooke, just to make sure it's real, I'll tell you the truth on like private message as well.
Appreciate that. No, I
Yeah,
really appreciate that because I love connecting people with my clients or past clients, to have really firsthand experiences. And that's why we do these, right? It's one to showcase you, to celebrate you, to also let people know, hey, you can be a healer, you can be an intuitive and
yeah,
make really good money doing so, especially when you've got the strategy and you've got this, when you got the system, you guys, I'm telling you, when it literally will all come together and start working as a well-oiled machine. And before you know, you're like, oh my God, I'm actually like, I have so many clients, I have so many leads, they're paying me more than ever before. And that's one thing I really love about your wins is that we built the energy within you to raise your prices. And then people
yeah.
like bought that. They bought the raised price, which is really, really incredible. And so
Yes.
thank you for offering that. And I definitely will keep
Thank you.
you in touch if I need to do any three-way connections. And it's been such a pleasure. I can't wait to see what you do.
Same. Hope to see you soon, Brooke.
Yes, I know. Can't wait to see all the wins you have this year and then some and then some and then some and
Yeah.
hopefully hug you again in person. I really hope so. So
Yes.
good stuff.
Thank you.
I'll see you later, okay? Thank you so much.
Bye.
Love you. Bye.